Last fall was probably one of the worst hurricane seasons for the southeast, with Hurricane Debbie hitting Georgia and causing all of this flooding, not to take anything away from Hurricane Helene, which, as we all know, completely devastated the Appalachian area in western North Carolina and South Carolina, as well as East Tennessee. This is a good segue though to today's video. I wasn't sure I was going to post this, but the flooding destroyed our fence and we've got some work to do ourselves.
Bugging out. Here comes the wave. Eventually it's going to have to be repaired. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's time to start building our dream. Over the last year, we built Project Rampage. We've been to the Toyo Tires booth, and we've done a lot to really build upon a dream I've had. And I've always loved tractors, tools, and trucks. The Jeep is a prime example of that. We got the Ram that's a diesel, got Rampage as a diesel, but I got one more to show you that hasn't been on the channel in a while and actually helped us build this channel from the ground up. We're going to go back and we're going to do something for our early subscribers. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We've got more install videos, more overland trips and everything else coming up with the Jeep, but today I'm going to go back to my roots and why we kind of started this channel, and I'm going to show you guys Mad Max. Alright guys, so this is Mad Max. This is my little Mahindra Max 26 XLT hydrostatic tractor. We've got the front loader, we've got down there is a mower, and then we've got the backhoe on the back, and we've got to do some fence repairs because the neighbors drove through during the hurricanes, destroyed our fence. It stayed saturated back there, it snowed, it doesn't take and drain very well. So got a lot of work to do, and hopefully you guys enjoy today's video. I look forward to hanging out with you guys and the goal tonight is just get a couple of fence posts. I pulled out 12, and the problem is only 4 came out with the concrete, so we'll be using the backhoe again. Took a couple of shots, put it on Instagram, and today we'll be doing some other stuff. Yeah, so here's Mad Max, and so we've got front end loader on here. Over here we've got our box full of tools for when we do outdoor projects. Got our bucket, and then we've got our heavy hitch tooth bar, and that thing's great for when you're tearing stuff out. As you can see, a lot of weight on the tires right now. Got the mid-mount mower, and then back here is my 26B backhoe. And you want to grease your tractor every 10 hours, but for the most part, we are going to put the ROPS up, and then we're going to move out back. So one thing that I will say is make sure you put your ROPS back down before you try to back it into the garage. And so the ROPS is real easy to put up. Pull a safety pin, pull this pin. Same thing on this side. You're going to pull a safety pin, pull the pin, hold your ROPS up, make sure you replace those. Now that we've got the ROPS up, we are going to go get to work. So starting the tractor is actually really easy. So all we're going to do is reach down here, press in our clutch, wait for the glow plug light to go off, and we're good to go. I also want to make sure we don't hit the Jeep. So once we get our space, we're going to head out. Come down with our load some. As you can see back here, it's just kind of a muddy mess. We got our first post started over here, and so we're just going to park this over here out of the way. So we got our first post over here started, and we're going to take and I'm actually going to dig some holes out. All right guys, so these holes are full of water because we are so low to the water table here I'm going to show you guys a couple of ways of doing this. One way you can dig out a hole is with a post hole digger. It's kind of sloppy over here, so not really working here. So if you don't want to use a post hole digger, next best thing is an auger like this. Half choke, full choke. Alright, so now we're going to try the auger. That's the only downside of one of these augers. Not the safest way to dig a post hole. And so now that the auger's stuck in the ground, all the tree roots and everything else, we're going to end up actually using Mahindra Max. Alright guys, so over here on the Mahindra Max, we've got the backhoe. I'm going to take my strapping out and my chain. Move this over to our toolbox. Over here on Mahindra Max, the great thing is the seat actually spins around to use a backhoe. So I'm going to move the backhoe into position and then we'll dig this hole out. And you want to leave a little bit of space too. So, all right guys, so once we got the backhoe into position, I always keep these on a couple of springs from the other side. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that we have these things called cypress knees in the yard. If you scroll down here, these cypress knees, they're really a trip hazard and there's no good way they'll damage your mower other than digging them out. But they're a real pain, and clearly when they had a D7 come through here back in the day, wasn't an issue, but now the regular mower does not like these. I'm going to show you the way that I'm digging post holes now. I bought the tractor 5 years ago. We've replaced our water main. We've done all kinds of projects with the tractor. And personally, even if you're a homeowner and not a farmer, one of these little tractors, subcompact or a compact tractor like Mahindra Max, is great as an extra tool, and it's made my life so much easier. I'm doing this as a one-person job, and that's because I've got a tractor that I'm able to do that. So all we're going to do, we're going to lower our lift legs stabilizers here. And you just want them in contact with the ground. You're not lifting it up like a traditional backhoe. And then we got to pull our travel pin here. And then we're going to turn our seat around. Turning the seat around on the Mahindra Max is pretty easy. Lift up, turn, push it forward, and we're good. So now we're going to hop on the tractor. I'm going to show you how to dig out this post hole. Get our RPMs up. May have to reset our line. A little bit out of practice. Move my line here. So as you can see right here, this was a piece of concrete down in there. Alright guys, so I'm just taking tape measure, coming over 8 feet to make sure we're at least close from our other post. So yeah, we're about 8 feet right there. Standard post up. That's about center. Put our level on here, and this is a post level. And all you're doing is making sure you're between the two bubbles. So you got a bubble here, bubble here. You're just gonna wanna scoot the base over, try and get level. Looks like the base needs to go over a little bit. Then you take the post hole digger, dig out a little bit that way. Try this again. That's looking pretty good there. And there. With it being 8 feet on center, we're gonna want it all the way to the end of the far post, and then 8 foot centered on this post. So we're pretty close. Make sure our line's good. Now it's just a matter of putting our picket in. This is really where having an extra set of hands would help. Good thing is with the fast setting concrete, it's not going to take that long. And we can reuse these too as we go along. We barely have the post touching the line right here, which is pretty much what we want. With the base over, and then we've got our one stake that's holding the post plumb this direction, plumb being level straight up and down, and then we're going to put our other one in going the other direction. It's starting to get a little dark here, but what we're trying to do is line that bubble up close to the middle, and we'll just send it home. Here we got 8 foot on center. And because posts do warp sometimes, I'm gonna check, make sure we're 8 foot on center on the top. And here we're 8 foot on center. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but the more perfect you make it, the straighter your fence is gonna be. All right guys, so we pulled out the DeWalt area light. It's pretty bright. But over here, we've got 2 posts in. I want to try to get a third one in because tomorrow it's supposed to rain again. So dig this one out, get it set, staged, and then we'll try to do concrete. That way the fence comes along a little bit at a time. Almost had it. Here's the concrete that was busted up. Alright guys, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. Hole is pretty deep. Lots of roots down in there. We got a little bit more work to do. I may come over and widen it up a little bit. The problem if you widen it, the more concrete you got to put in there. I think the original hole is right about here at this part, based on the line, but we'll check it out from there. Alright guys, so we're gonna go get some more concrete and some stakes. It's a good idea to use your transport pin. It just comes down here. Slides through and just keeps your backhoe from moving around when you're running around with it. Throw these 2 stakes down here. We'll come back for that. I know some of you guys are like, man, it's taking a long time to put in 2 posts, but the tractor makes it easier. It gets dark early. It got dark here around 6:30, so we're just gonna grab our concrete real quick. Have to pack all this stuff up here when we're done. So put that down. Pop those loose. And what I'm looking for is those red tines right there. I want those to come out like they did on both sides. And I can back up. Give her a little more vroom vroom. There's a muddy mess back here. We left our bucket over this way. Down here's a rocker pedal. It's pretty nice because you just slide your foot back and forth. And when you line up, it really takes 2 hands to do this part. I think the bucket's harder to put on than the pallet forks. It's narrower. Come in underneath, kind of have to tilt out, then come up, and once it locks in, you're going to curl, and then you're going to take and you're going to lock it in. So all you do is you take your pins here, that locks in your bucket. Now we're ready to go haul some stuff. So we probably need 4 bags of concrete, and we need at least 2 more stakes. So it's going to rain heavy the next couple of days, and so we really want to take and make sure that these 2 posts are pretty well situated. We'll see how they do with the rain. So on the first post, I only ended up using 1 bag of concrete, but for this one, we're actually going to use a little bit more. And even in low range, this thing scoots around pretty good. The difference in a tractor, like a Jeep, the front axle is pinned in the center, and so it articulates, and then you ride where your rear tires are. The issue is that front axle is not going to prevent you from flipping over, so it's almost like driving a 3-wheeler, and that's why tractors can be so dangerous. Over here we got Big Red. I'm going to grab some concrete out of the back, and I'm going to take and grab some wood stakes. All right guys, so we grabbed the stakes. We got 6 bags of concrete, so that's a total of 300 pounds of concrete, and the tractor just makes, everything easier, especially the older you get. I am so glad I bought a tractor. So we're gonna go cruise around to the backyard and try to wrap this up for the night. You guys aren't gonna be able to see it real well over there. Trust me, it's gonna be level when we're done. It's perfect. Double check this measurement here. We're 96 inches to the edge. All right guys, so we got our bag of fast setting concrete. Just gonna pour it in the hole. You don't want to breathe in concrete dust for sure. So set that to the side. One bag down, grab another bag. There's 2 bags. Everything looks good up top, so this one should be good to go. Just gotta go add some water. I know you're saying, John, you said the soil's soaked and you're getting a lot of rain tomorrow. Pour water in and agitate it with a stick to kind of mix it in the hole. So for this part, you can just use a 5-gallon bucket. Or in this case, I got an old watering can. I'm gonna go get some more water. All right, we're gonna call that hole good. And when we're done, we'll just take and scrape all the dirt back in that we don't need. Alright guys, so we're going to call that quits. Pack up here and head back with the tractor to the garage. Got the post holes in. Let me spin you around and let you take a look. I came back, added some more water to this one. As you can see, it's really soaking up the water. That one over there is setting. This is fast set concrete, so 30 minutes it'll be hard as a rock. And then everything's leveled up on the post. Again, our guideline is just barely touching. Some people offset it, you know, depending on material thickness. For me being a one-man show, that's just a little bit extra to do. Tools we use, you know, post levels, a few stakes here. Got our drill with a T25 for these decking screws we're using. They're coated 3.5 inch, so they'll go through the panels and also screw right into the post. We got our Sawzall out here, or Hacksaw from Milwaukee. We got our DeWalt light out here, but my favorite of course is Mad Max. So if you guys are ever in the market for a tractor, whether you got a small house, I mean, I was originally looking at a John Deere 1025R, also the Kubota BX25, I think it's now like the BX23, their small tractor. I chose the Mahindra because it weighs more, it's got higher capacities. It's not much bigger than a 1025, but it'll lift more than a 2 Series John Deere. And so I've been extremely happy with it. We loaded up 300 pounds of concrete, no issues. I'm glad I bought it when I did because fast forward 5 years. I love the backhoe. I use that quite a bit. It's gotten me out of quite a few pinches, like when my water main broke, I dug the trench to replace the water main. The mower deck, I wouldn't say it's a great everyday mower, but it's good if you've got like a big piece of property. And then the front end loader, the new 2000 series from Mahindra, it's actually got a drive over mower deck. You still have to use the trailing arms to raise and lower the deck. I wish they would come up with just a hydraulic motor or electric motor to lift and lower the deck. Other than that, I think Mahindra's spot on. The Max 26, I don't know if they're going to keep making them, but I bought mine in 2019. It's 2025. They still have them on the website. So I still think it's the best compact tractor out there for the money, and I've loved mine. K6 Outdoors, he and I started our channels about the same time. He's probably the only other Mahindra Max 26 XLT tractor channel that routinely posts. There's a few others out there to check out as well. To me, I prefer the hydrostatic over the shuttle. To each their own. Shuttle is more like driving a manual, whereas this thing's more like driving an automatic. It's got low range, high range. Top speed on this thing is pretty much flying for a tractor. But having that backhoe out back, I mean, projects and then just added weight. Also, my tires came filled with ballast, so you want to have liquid ballast when you drive one of these. It keeps you more stable, keeps the center of gravity lower. And so the tractor is a little bit heavier. I think it's about 2,000 pounds for a tractor, plus another 1,400 pounds or 2,000 pounds probably in attachments. So about just under 4,000 pounds total the way I've got mine kitted out. But I love it. It's an extra set of hands. I use it to install my bull bar, dig the trench. We did a bunch of leveling upgrades here in the backyard. The yard was beautiful back in the day. Also, you know, lifting fence panels. Things are 100 pounds, 400 pounds. My Expedition 1 bumper, the truck came in. I lifted that off the truck, and you know, having a tractor is just an extra set of hands. It's just me out here when I do these projects, no extra set of hands, and we knock it out thanks to Mad Max. So if you're interested in tractor, let me know. If you want to see more tractor videos, let me know in the comments. If you want to see more Jeep videos, let me know in the comments. If you want to see more Dodge videos, let me know in the comments. Our Weed Eater DeWalt video is crazy. It did like 150,000 views. The third video I did with Mad Max, we got like 73,000 views. So I'm inclined to do tractor videos if any of you guys are interested. 5 years, I barely put 80 hours on this thing. It's kept in the garage. I'm not like K6 Outdoors who uses his regularly. I would say if you buy a red tractor, park it inside so it doesn't become a pink tractor. And other than that, take care of it, do the maintenance, change the oil, and then biggest thing is make sure you grease it every 10 hours. As you can see, it's not perfect on there, but definitely felt the weight transfer to the back. We put our bucket up front, along with our collar forks. So I know one thing, I love the tractor, man. It makes my back so much happier. This is one of those little lights I got at Buc-ee's when I was driving. It's more for overlanding, but it does a great job for everything else too. Problem is the battery doesn't last too long, so roll it down, it's got bright, it's got low beam. So you can see and what have you. Or if you hold it down a lot, it's got a red. So the biggest thing is on a tractor before you park it is don't forget your rocks. You're gonna hate yourself. One, it could bend the rocks and damage the tractor. Two, it's gonna leave a mark on your house. So just be mindful of that. There's Rampage. There's Big Red. So what I'm going to do is just kind of line it up. And we're going to back it up towards the garage. With all that weight on it, the front steering doesn't like it very much. It's kind of like driving a grocery cart in reverse. So I usually stop right about here. This is where I put the ROPS up. So basically, just pull a pin on each side. Hold on to that pin. Hold the pin on the other side. Drop it to 90. Pin in. Pin in. And now we can maneuver it into the garage. Make sure we clear the garage door sensor. So put your ops down so you're not hitting the top of your house. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We pulled out the tractor, did a little bit of work. If you would, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, ring the bell so you get the notifications, and keep coming back for more. Once again, we've been focused a lot on Project Rampage. It's time to knock out some projects around the house. For all my tractor fans out there, hope you guys enjoyed the tractor. Working on vehicles, the tractor's nice to have as well. We put the bumper, the ARB bull bar on Big Red. Probably about that 400 to 800 pound range is pretty good. With the bucket, it carries a lot. You know, you got 1,400 pound lift capacity on this thing. And anybody you talk to with a Mahindra Max, they love their tractor. The curling function is just one of those things where everybody wants a little more curl, and so you got to right size the tractor to you. Once again, I get to share my dreams with you. The true purpose of this channel is to help inform, motivate, and inspire you to get out there and start building your dreams.